Okay, welcome everybody. This is the last SPF UK Climate Resilience Seminar before Christmas. Thank you to everybody who can join today. If we go on to the next slide, please. Today we'll be focusing very much on the urban environment. We'll detail the idea of the climate science and how that can be turned into a climate service. Then we'll hear from a real user of the climate service, from Lucy, about how the information is being received, how it's being used, and feedback from that. So in terms of our speakers, Lizzie Kendon is a specialist in very high resolution regional modelling. Scannell is our lead at the Met Office on urban climate services. She has lots of experience, for instance, in engagement with users. We'll have time, as usual, for question and answers, so I would encourage you to put those into the Q&A panel at the bottom of the screen. If we can use the chat to highlight any problems you're having, for instance, with the IT settings. Next slide, please. In terms of engaging, first we have the Q&A box. When it comes to the discussion, I'll be picking those in terms of how they've been upvoted. So if you see a similar question, I'd very much encourage you to click upvote if it's one that you'd really like to have answered. We'll keep attendees muted through the session. But occasionally it helps during the questions if we can make the microphone live. We'll do that as we go along. It usually works fine. Afterwards, the audio and the slides will be shared. So some of you listening to this might actually be looking at the recorded event. And in terms of thinking about the wider picture of the program, well, you can look at our Twitter feed, or you can go to the website. And the website, it's frequently updated. We have on there items such as blogs. We also have a link to all of the active projects within the program, and that's been added to as new projects start up. Next slide, please. In terms of program news, one of the items I wanted to highlight today is a particular project that is producing socioeconomic scenarios for the UK SSP. I met with the team of this project last week. It's really great to see what they're doing, and what it will produce is a set of downscaled scenarios that cover things such as population, age demographics, metrics around wealth, and we're really keen to see these used by the community. There'll be a seminar that starts to talk about these in more detail after Christmas. Next slide, please. Some of you will also be aware of the process around the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. We're into the 6th assessment period, and it's possible to comment on the draft documents available. And in particular, Working Group 2 focuses on the impacts of climate change and the risks associated with climate change. I'd encourage you to register and supply your comments on this draft. So you need to register before the 22nd of January. Registration, I believe, is open now, and comments need to be in by the 29th of January. Next slide, please. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Lizzie and Claire to go through the science of urban climate change and the climate service. Over to you.